Let's all welcome Mr. Jeff McDonald.
All right, hello. Yay. I am here today to talk about blockchain. And I know a lot of you think, what is blockchain? I heard about it on the news. There's a lot of money on blockchain. Does blockchain work? I'm going to try to break it down and make it a little simpler for us and try to make it so that we can all understand it. So it really starts off with this guy named Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, we don't know who he is. We don't really think that he's Japanese. We don't know where he came from, but what we know is that he did something amazing. And we hear a lot of different things, but I'm going to try to focus in on just one thing that Satoshi did, because there's one thing that he did that is truly amazing, that's changed our world. And this is the problem. He solved something called the double spending problem. This is technical. I'm going to break it down, okay? And I'm going to try to explain it with an example. Here's my phone, and I'm going right now to take a selfie. Yay, hi. Okay, so I have taken a picture, and what I can do is I can send this picture to Twitter, and then a second time I can send it to Facebook, and then a third time I can send this picture in an email. And in fact, a digital picture, the wonderful thing about a digital picture is I can send it as many times as I want. And that's different than like old photographs. If you have a real photograph that you hold in your hand, you can only send it one time. Now, what Satoshi Nakamoto figured out is a way that you can take a digital item, like a picture, and when you send it to somebody from one person to another person over the internet, you cannot send it a second time. So basically with blockchain, if I take a picture and I send it to my friend, now my friend is the only one that has that picture. And Bitcoin decided not to do this with pictures, but Bitcoin decided to do this with money. And so if I have a Bitcoin and it's on the blockchain is the technology that Bitcoin uses, and I send a Bitcoin, which is digital information, just like a digital picture, and I send it from me to another person, then now that person has the Bitcoin. And that's the innovation of Satoshi. He solved, in what we call the blockchain world, is the double spending or the double sending problem, which has been around ever since computers has been around. Now, at NIM, what we're doing is we are not just doing Bitcoin for money. Yes, we do money. Actually, NIM, it has all kinds of money. Anybody can make their own money on NIM, and it takes only 2 minutes to make your own money, your own cryptocurrency on NIM. And the beautiful thing about money on the blockchain is it is smart, programmable money. So if you think about it, if I have money in my pocket, Filipino pesos, that's not smart money. If I have US dollars, it's not smart money. It's not programmable. The birth of Bitcoin, the birth of NIM, is the birth of smart, programmable money. You can program your money now to do things that regular old money couldn't do. You can program it to have taxes built in. You can program it to go to certain people or not to go to certain people. You can program it when it can go or not. You can put rules into your money. And that's really cool. And anybody now can do this with the blockchain on NIM. But blockchain is not just about money. It's about more. What else do? We do certificates. Just like pictures, just like money, you can also put certificates, diplomas for universities, birth certificates, national IDs, property titles can now be put on the blockchain. So if I have a property title on the blockchain and I send it to somebody else, that's digital information. And now I had it and I send it to them and now only they have it. We are changing value. This is like the internet of value, and it's not just about smart programmable money. It's not just about smart programmable certificates. It's also about smart programmable voting. And for the first time, we have a new way of doing voting. So before, if you had 5 candidates, you had to pick one. But with smart programmable voting, you could pick 2 out of 5, or 3 out of 5, or 4 out of 5. And if you make a mistake with smart programmable voting, you can re-vote. You can change your vote. You can also do delegated voting. You can do a contract. We call it a smart contract. But basically, it's just a rule that allows you to give your voting power to somebody else. We have identity on the blockchain. And we have connections into the IoT. And the IoT needs blockchain because blockchain is going to give security to all these devices around the world. These devices have your information. Hackers want your information. These devices have money. People want to take your money. With the blockchain, we can give security to the IoT. What else are we doing? Well, here's an example of lots of different things that we're doing at NIM. We have loyalty points, real estate, exchanges, charities, education, supply chain, Internet of Things, gaming, augmented reality, payments. See, this is a lot of different areas, but I want to explain it like this. Your bank has a database, and your bank uses a lot of security to protect its database. But the blockchain is actually just a database too. It's a new and revolutionary kind of database. And just like Bitcoin is changing the way we think about money, and banks now are wondering, what is Bitcoin? How is it doing this? And Bitcoin has a different way of sending money than banks. We're doing the same thing because a bank has a database, but the government has a database, this hotel has a database, universities have databases, everywhere there's databases, and now we can use blockchain to revolutionize databases. I'll give you an example. Some of this might seem kind of crazy. Here's a lot of different ways that we are changing things, but 20 years ago, 15 years or 20 years ago, something came out when I was a university student called Wikipedia. And people told me, they said, when Wikipedia first came out, when it was very, very, very small, I was a big believer in Wikipedia. I was writing articles on Wikipedia. And you know what my friends at the university said? They said, I don't believe in Wikipedia. You know what my university professors said? They said, don't use Wikipedia. Everybody told me that Wikipedia will not work. And you know what my parents used to tell me when I was a little kid? They said, use the encyclopedia. You can trust the encyclopedia. And now Wikipedia has put the encyclopedias out of business. And I've been traveling around the world, and I still hear a lot of people, and maybe some of you, when I came up, you said, blockchain guy, oh no. Blockchain, that will never work. I don't believe in blockchain. It can't work. I'm telling you, it's been working. Bitcoin has been around for 10 years, and for 10 years, it's been working. But for a long time, people didn't take it seriously. But now people are starting to take it seriously, and we're starting to do new and revolutionary ideas. We're looking at changing all of these areas. I'm going to just pick out one of them really quickly. Medical records. Oh man, this is a pain. Right now in the Philippines, right now in America, right now in Europe, if you go to the hospital, you get medical records. And then if you go to another hospital, your second doctor says, go to the first doctor and get your records. And then if you go to a third doctor, he says, go to the first doctor and the second doctor and get your records. And just like Wikipedia changed encyclopedias, just like Airbnb is changing hotels, just like Grab is changing taxis, blockchain and the internet are going to change a lot more things. And I can think of how we can use the blockchain to change medical records, completely revolutionize all of these different areas because they all use networks and they all use databases. Here's an example of one company in the Philippines that's doing this, LoyalCoin. They have a partnership with Grab, Cebu Pacific, Gongcha, 7-Eleven, Lazada, and more. And they are using blockchain for real use cases to help all of these companies and make a loyalty economy. A wonderful example here in the Philippines. But I want to highlight a problem with blockchain. Blockchain, people always talk about decentralization. I'm not going to go much into what decentralization is, but we always talk about it. Decentralization. And oftentimes, decentralization has meant disorganization. And it meant that things didn't get done very well. What we need to do, and what I need your help today from all of you, is to help us get organized. I want to see different Chamber of Commerces. If you're interested in this technology, we have a booth outside, and we would love to talk to you to talk about how we can use blockchain in your zones, in your economic areas, to help make your businesses better. Up until this point, we have developer-driven blockchains. That's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is all about these techies, these mad scientists, and they're making this code, and they're launching it, and there's not really marketers, and there's not really infrastructure making Bitcoin work. Now, it's all over the world, and it's working, but it's not run very well. And then there's community-driven blockchains. I can give a lot of examples, right, about how communities have come together. And then there's consortium blockchains. Maybe you've heard about this. Private blockchains, banking blockchains. This is where a group of businesses come together and they make a secret blockchain to help themselves. But there's one kind of blockchain that we don't have yet. And this is why I'm talking about it here today. We don't have government-driven blockchains. Around the world, there's lots of different people trying to do blockchain, but around the world, governments haven't got involved. Chamber of Commerces haven't got involved, and we need you to help us. Because imagine if I wanted to build a city and I didn't get the government involved. I need the government to help with roads. I need the government to help with water. I need the government to help with electricity if I'm going to build a city. And it's the same with almost any industry. We need your help. How can you do that? Well, I'm really happy to say that there's CESA, the Special Economic Zone in the Philippines, and they've been very proactive, and I'm especially excited because I've already heard about 17 companies that are coming to the Philippines that would not have come because CESA is open for business. And I'd like to see more places become open for business. We have a close partnership with CESA, and I would like to do more. Here's another example in America. A couple months ago, I had the honor of helping to announce a project. It's just a demo, it's a proof of concept for the Crow Nation. The Crow Nation has their own independent territory in the United States because the Indians were there before the Europeans came. And we were able to show them a demo. HE3 Labs, in partnership with the Universal Tribal Partners, were able to do a demo of identity, property, voting, and currency. And it didn't take very long, and it didn't take a lot of money, because blockchain allows us to build new things in new ways and save money and make it faster and easier and cheaper. Now, technically, you could have built a system that did identity, property, voting, and currency, but would it have been secure? Could it have been hacked? Probably. How much would it have cost? A lot of money. But now we are talking with businesses how to change their models, save money, and do things more secure. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Thank you guys very much for listening to me, and thank you.